Hey, how are you all? Hope you have heard the Ramavatar, the first episode, Balagantam. Do you like it? We heard from Rama's birth until his wedding, right? So today we are going to listen to Ayodhya Kandam. After the wedding, all returned to Ayodhya. Rama was helping his father ruling the country, and actually he was learning how to rule later. King Dasharatha decided to retire. He wanted to make Rama as a king. Generally, those days, the king's son would become the king if eligible. If not eligible, people would not accept him as king. But here, everyone loved Rama. Rama was so talented and actually he was so much eligible for a king. So when the king Dasharatha came to his court and announced about his decision, everyone presented in the court were so happy. They all cheered. Oh my God, on hearing this, the king was little bit, oh, what is this? I have ruled this country for so many years, and I thought these people would feel very unhappy to see that I am leaving, but no. But anyway, it is okay. After all, only my son is going to come as next king. So it is okay. And anyway, Rama was his beloved son too. Now they looked for a good day, good auspicious day. It so happened the very next day happened to be a auspicious day. How to celebrate such a big coronation the very next day itself? But anyway, it was Raja's son, so very easy to make a coronation within a day. And also, everyone was there except Bharat and Shatrughna. Bharat went to his uncle's place, which is Kekaya country, Kekaya kingdom, which is in present Pakistan. Such a far away place. So, then not possible to come immediately, right? But Dasharatha thought, okay, Bharata would not mind that. So now, I have informed you even before that. I mentioned this word of mouth. Word of mouth is faster than the WhatsApp nowadays. So all the people of Ayodhya came to know about this and they started decorating the kingdom. Dasharatha wanted to inform or tell his wives personally, especially to Kaikeyi, as she was his favorite wife. Not only to husband, she was favorite to everyone. She was such a wonderful queen who loved Rama so much. So, the Kaikeyi had a servant maid. Usually in those days, when a rich or a princess, when they get married, they used to get one maid from mother's place. She would be accompanying that rich lady or the princess from the mother's place. So naturally, the maid also would like the daughter, the queen, and the queen also would like the maid because both of them knew each other right from the young age. So even here, a maid from Kaikeyi's mother's place was there. Her name was Mantra, but she was hunchback. So people used to call her as Koni. Koni is a Tamil word which means hunchback. So she happened to come to Bazaar. She saw people were decorating their houses and all seems to be very happy. When she asked the reason, she got the information of Rama's coronation. My God, her blood was boiling. She got so much upset, that Bharat could not become the king and only Rama would be the king. So she got very much upset. What to do? She directly came to Kaikeyi and told her about the coronation function. Kaikeyi was so happy. She took a precious pearl chain from her neck and presented to Kuni for that good news. But Kuni's anger was like fuel adding to the fire. she disturbed the mind of Kaikeyi by saying this, "O Kaikeyi, how innocent you are! If Rama becomes king, then Kaushalya will become Rajamata. Your son will become slave of Rama and you will become slave of Kaushalya. The king Dasharatha acts as if he likes you more than anything, but when it comes to do something very important, he prefers Rama, not Bharata." She said so many things like this, and she also added Bharata was purposely sent to uncle's house. These were all the king's plan, pre-planned. So now Kaikeyi became so determined to make Bharata the king. But she didn't know how to do that. Look, how one can influence a beautiful lady to become so arrogant. That happened because of Kaikeyi, because of this Kuni. Now she was so confused and she asked Kuni, how to make Bharata king of Ayodhya? Always these cunning people have a lot of crooked ideas. So this Kuni reminded Kaikeyi about two boons she got from the Dasharatha. She said, Kaikeyi, do you remember once you saved king from a danger and he was so pleased that he gave you two boons? At that time you told him you would use them when needed. Now you ask the king, with one boon make Dasharatha Bharata king, and the other boon ask Rama to go to forest for 14 years. Kaikeyi was so pleased with this, but she loved Rama so much. So she asked Kuni, okay, I can understand that with one boon I can make Bharata the king, but why Rama go to forest? The cunning Kuni said, once a child bonds to Bharata, we can make him Yuvaraja in 12 years, so Bharata's dynasty will continue, and even if Rama returns, he cannot become the king forever. Wow, what an idea! Look at that cunning lady. That's all. Do you know what these angry ladies would do when they get extremely angry? She unfolded her hair, removed all her jewels, and made complete palace dark, went to her bed and just lie down there. Poor king, without knowing all this drama, he joyfully entered the queen's palace. He was surprised to see the darkness of the palace, so he went to Kaikeyi to share the happy news. But what Kaikeyi told him, right? Do you think it will please me? I want Bharat to become king. Ram has to go to exile for 14 years. You have to keep up your promise. Oh my God, this promise. Do you remember this same word promise made Dasharatha to send Rama with Vishwamitra? At least that ended well. But here we do know what would happen also. This Dasharatha always does that, right? He used to give and without knowing that it was a trap. So, though the king was so surprised, he asked Kaikeyi, Kaikeyi, you love Rama more than anything. But why you have changed like this? I can ask Rama to give the kingdom to Bharata. He would readily give. Happily he will give the kingdom. But why Rama to go to forest for 14 years? Kaikeyi was a good lady to accept what she planned. She told everything what Kuni taught her. The king begged Kaikeyi, and at last he failed to convince her and he fainted. Kaikeyi had no mercy for the king. She sent her servants to call Rama. Rama was preparing for the next day coronation. Usually we go to the temple first. So Rama too went to the temple, their family temple. We call it as Kula Devam temple. And when Kaikeyi's servant came looking for Rama, he immediately went to Kaikeyi's palace. Actually, he himself planned to go to all three queens to get the blessings anyway. When he reached there, as usual, Kaikeyi told him everything and asked Rama to go to exile as per his father's promise. But Rama never got any angry. He did not get upset or anything. His face was so fresh like a flower. He bowed to Kaikeyi and said, Amma, Appa need not tell me all this. Even if you tell, I will obey. I will go Nabuchal. So saying, he returned to his palace. Again, word of mouth. Everyone in the kingdom, especially Ayodhya, came to know this. Within a second, the happy mood changed to sad mood. People all became so sad. Rama went to Sita and informed her and told her, Sita, I will go to forest as per father's promise. You be with my mother. But Sita was so adamant. She was so stubborn. She said, no, I would be coming only with you. This palace and all will never give me any happiness. Even if it is forest with a load of animals and discomfort, but still, only forest will make me happy because you are there. So, what happened? Two ladies' stubbornness moves the story of Rama Avatar. It has to, right? The purpose of Rama Avatar must take place. So, by this time, the angry Lakshmana came to Rama and started abusing Kaikeyi in anger. Rama asked him to calm down and take care of father and elders. Oh, do you think this shadow will listen? Never, not at all. So, no choice. Rama had to take Sita and Lakshmana. Now Kaushalya was so upset, but Sumitra was such a knowledgeable queen. She told Lakshmana, Lakshmana, you must take care of Rama and Sita. You protect them very well like a servant. If you cannot do that, you don't come to Ayodhya. See, look at her. The love for Rama and Sita and also the confidence she had with Lakshmana. Now, when all three removed all their costly costumes, changed to saffron clothes and started their journey, people of Ayodhya followed them. Minister Sumantra took them in the chariot until the kingdom's border. People also followed them. Night came, they all halted in one place and started taking rest. And the people were very tired. Naturally, they were all sleeping only. Early morning, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana quietly left that place. When people woke up, they found out they were very much disappointed and they found out Rama, Sita and Lakshmana already left. Okay, no choice, they consoled themselves and returned to their homes waiting for Rama to come after 14 years. Let's go to Ayodhya now to see what happened there. Minister Sumantra returned to the kingdom and he met King Dasharatha and informed him about the Rama, Sita and Lakshmana's journey to the forest. That's all. The king fell down and died. My God. See, the king had 4 sons. Rama and Lakshmana were not around. Bharata and Satrughna were not around. They were in Kekeya kingdom. Rama and Lakshmana anyway could not return. So messengers were sent to Kekeya kingdom, which is so far away. Until then, the body of the king. Once a person die, we call them only body. We never say Dasharatha. We say only body. The body of Dasharatha must be kept carefully. Those days they used to keep it inside the oil. Here also king's body was kept inside the oil. After a week's time, though he was very fast, but the distance was so far, they returned after 1 week. Bharata was so shocked to see the sadness of the people, everywhere sorrow, and people who saw him also turned their head. He was so confused, he straight went to the mother. Kekeyi became so merciless. As she saw Bharata, she greeted him happily and inquired about her father and brother's wellness. Still, Bharata was in great shock. He asked his mother about father. Kaikeyi was a very straightforward woman, she was so straightforward. She told Bharata about everything that happened and about the father's death and about Rama's exile, and then she said, I've got kingdom for you, now it is your duty to rule it carefully and happily. Bharata could not bear the shock of his father's death and Rama's exile. Like a madman, he started abusing his mother. He said, So, you wanted to become a Rajamata, right? Do you think that I would sit in that throne? Do you think that I would take this kingdom? Never. I would never touch. I want Rama to come and take the kingdom back. He made a vow that she would never become the king. He refused to hear whatever Kaikeyi said. And I would stay with Rama in forest, or I would stay in forest and send Rama to rule the country. So he was having so many things within a minute in such a sorrow. He directly went to Kaushalya. At first, Kaushalya did not believe Bharata. She thought even Bharata would be a part of that Kaikeyi's plan. But when she saw Bharata's anger, sorrow, crying, all that, and Bharata begged and confessed in front of Kaushalya, saying that you never knew anything about all this. Then finally, now it is Kaushalya's turn to console Bharata. It so happened like that. Nothing could change Bharata. Vasishtha, Sumandra, nobody could change his decision. He wanted to bring back Rama and give back the kingdom to Rama. That's all. A very big crowd, all three queens, ministers, Vasishtha, and people of Ayodhya, all started their journey searching for Rama. Okay. Now let them walk and come slowly. By that time, let us go and see Rama, what happened to him. Silently, Rama left the people and went inside the forest, and they reached the river Ganges. River Ganges is so broad, one can cross it only with the help of a boat. There were plenty of boats, and their leader or their king was Guha. Guha was such a good person. On seeing Rama, he felt so bad that he was wearing saffron dress, leaving everything. So he was praising Rama, and he treated Rama so well, with so much of love and affection. Rama was so pleased with Guha and said, Guha, we are 4. Hereafter you also are one of my brothers. Including you, now we are 5. So there is a word in Tamil, Guhanoda Aivaranum. So we are 5 with Guha, including Guha. So that night they stayed with Guha, and the very next day morning, Guha crossed the river, and these people went to Chitrakoot. Lakshmana was so skillful. He made a wonderful hut with the available things in the forest, and they started living there. They even had a eagle king Jadayu as their friend. Now what happened to Bharata and his people? They were all coming, right? They also reached the same river Ganges. On seeing Bharata with such a crowd, Guhan mistook Bharata. He thought, Rama is already out of his country. He left everything and came. Why Bharata is here now? Does he want Rama to be out of this world? Is he going to fight and kill Rama? But as Bharata approached Guha, he saw his saffron dress like Rama, and his tears, his sorrowful face. Guha melted like a butter in a fire. Bharata wanted Guha to show Rama's whereabouts. Guha was now so pleased with Bharata, and he asked him to wait till the next day morning. And that night, Bharata did not sleep at all. He was asking so many questions to Guha. He asked, where did Rama sleep? And where did Lakshmana and Sita slept? He wanted to know everything about Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. Then Guha replied, Rama slept on this ground using some available flowers. He made a small bed with the flower and he slept. And the whole night Lakshmana did not sleep at all, and he was guarding them. Bharata was crying so loudly with so much of pain like a child. My brother must have got all the happiness of a king, and because of me he slept on the ground. Guha consoled him and said, I thought Rama is the best soul and the best person in this world. But Bharata, 1,000 Rama cannot match your quality. So this was the greatness of Bharata actually. Next morning they started their journey and they were nearing Chitrakoot. So it was such a big crowd. Naturally a lot of sound and all will come, right? So Lakshmana climbed a nearby tree and checked. He saw Bharata with a lot of people as usual. But Lakshmana also mistook Bharata like Guha. But Rama did not suspect his brother Bharata and he advised Lakshmana to calm down. Once Bharata saw Rama, he came running with tears and fell on the feet of Rama. He was crying like a child. He was going on promising, he was going on telling that this was not his fault. He never wanted the kingdom. He never wanted to become the king of Ayodhya or anywhere, leaving Rama behind. All that he was saying like a child, and he was crying, and he wanted Rama to come back to Ayodhya. So many things. He was abusing even Kaikeyi in front of Rama. See Rama's quality. He was not at all angry with Kaikeyi and he advised Bharata not to talk about his mother without respect. Now both brothers came to know about the death of father. They became so sad and all four brothers did their final rites to the father there itself. Now Bharata was so adamant and he either wanted Rama to come to Ayodhya or he would stay with Rama. Now this is Rama's turn to advise Bharata about so many things. There in that place he advised Bharata about keeping a promise, giving respect to father and his words, his duty, and also he was advising Bharata what were all the duties of a good king, how to treat people, how to treat the ministers, all the lessons he was telling to Bharata, and he asked Bharata to return and rule as per father's wish. Finally, with a half heart, Bharata agreed, but he said, I will not enter Ayodhya. I will stay in Nandigram. Nandigram is a little bit closer to Ayodhya, but out of the kingdom, out of Ayodhya. Even now it is there, and there is one Bharata temple there. You give me your Paduka, that is slippers. I will keep them on the throne, representing the Paduka, I will rule. I will wait exactly for 14 years, and if you don't return, the next day I will make fire and jump into the fire. Oh, finally Rama agreed for all this and he gave Bharata his Paduka. Bharata happily kept the Paduka on his head and he was marching towards Ayodhya. After going to Ayodhya, he kept the Paduka on the chair. And this was known as Paduka Pattabhishekam, that is the coronation of Paduka. So from there, from Nandigram, Bharata was ruling the country very well. Here ends the Ayodhya Kandam. The next Kandam will be Aranya Kandam. Aranya means forest. So naturally we are not going to see Bharata for next 14 years anyway. So now we are going to have everything Rama's story only. Now Rama is in the forest. So we are going to know about all Rama's work in the forest. So see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.